In this lesson, we're going to get the final visuals that we want by adding a particle system and building our lights. Alright, so we've got a pretty nice looking scene so far, and what we need to do is we need to rebuild our final lighting. And then I also want to add in a particle system, and I'm going to add one in that is already created for us. Getting into particle systems, that's a whole nother editor, and it's just as large as like the material editor, and we just don't want to overload you with this course. And so what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and we're just going to take a look at it, bring those particles in, and just kind of show you how they're controlled in the scene. So what you'll do is you go to your content browser, because your particles are going to be held in here, and you can see under your particles folder you have several different particles that you can use. You have steam, sparks, smoke, even fire, an explosion, and then we have this ambient dust. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and left click and drag this into our level editor, and you drop that in just like you would any other mesh. Now what you'll notice is that we get these little dust particles start to show up in our scene. Now you can move this around using W, E, and R. Okay, so you can move it with W. You can even rotate it around, but in this case it's not really necessary because it's just kind of like a volume particle emission. So particles emit randomly in this space, and there we go. So very nice. Okay, very neat little look here, kind of dusty in this room, and just adds a little bit to the scene. Now what we want to do now is go ahead and rebuild our lighting here. Now I want to make sure that this light that is on our lamp is turned off, because we're going to talk about how to turn that light on and off using a trigger in our next lesson, and we'll kind of get an introduction to blueprints. So this lighting is going to be baked in. So let's go ahead and go to our build settings, and we're going to go to our lighting quality, and we're going to set this to production, and this is going to be the final look of your game. So once you build this out, you'll get a very nice render. It'll look really nice. It's going to take some of that atmosphere, it's going to pour that into the room, and what we'll see is a lot of the blue hues, but also those green hues from the trees and the landscape pouring into our scene. So let's go ahead and build this. It's going to take just a little while to do so. So if you build it, it should bring up a window saying build lighting, and it'll give you a percentage. Don't give up on it. It's going to take just a little while. I'm going to pause the video while we're doing this so it doesn't take quite as long. Okay, so we've gone ahead and we've done our final build of our lighting. So we set everything to production, and we've got our light built in. So everything's looking pretty good right now. We've got our particles in. Really happy with the way this looks, and it really just shows off the power that Unreal Engine 4 has, okay, with just the lighting alone. So now that we've got everything built, and you can continue to add this if you want to create your own static meshes and bring those in, you're more than welcome to. You could use this as a base to kind of get your set dressing skills up. You can start putting things in like debris and all of that sort of thing. So now what I want to do is I want to talk about blueprints. We're going to take one more lesson to talk about how they work and how they can create interactivity in your levels. And so we're going to go ahead and get started with that in our next lesson. So I'll see you then.